aLTCoin bag holders, my name is Rafael Yeager. I am addressing my fellow aLTCoin bag holders directly using the powers of the founding aLTCoin, Litecoin itself. All the fraud imposed upon us by maxis are crumbling to the ground, and our legion of aLTCoins have begun their march. My only goal is to destroy the indoctrination of Bitcoin maximalism once and for all. Right now, dogmatic maximalists are united in their desire to annihilate all our alts, reduce our network to dust. They won't stop when we're broke. They won't be satisfied until every coin besides Bitcoin is seen as worthless forever. I reject that wish. Each one of you will become a titan in joining me as we make every single Bitcoin delusion they've imposed disappear without a trace, and the Bitcoin dominance reduced till it becomes single digits.
Am I there? Okay. And here we go. Welcome to the Altcoin Season Tour, episode 6, the number one altcoin focused live stream on X. I am your host, Raphael, the owner of Flipping Finance and a Litecoin believer. We host the Altcoin Season Tour on Flipping Finance every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. And it's a show that is focused on talking about some of the largest cryptocurrencies, that is, some of the top cryptocurrencies in the coin market caps. Top 100, top 200. And so you have to follow us at Flipping Finance on X, on YouTube, and on Twitch so that you do not miss an episode of the Altcoin Season Tour, especially when we are talking about your favorite altcoin. So today, the altcoin we're talking about, of course, my favorite. And I know, right? There's 3 out of the 6 Alt Season Tour episodes so far have been Litecoin episodes, but yeah, I'm a Litecoiner, of course. So there's definitely going to be some bias here. We're going to be having way more Litecoin episodes than the other altcoin episodes. But yeah, it's by design, right? It's the only altcoin that I truly believe in, right? I do support and hope for everything else to go up, but when we're talking about what I believe in, it's Litecoin, of course. And so yeah, we're gonna be talking about in today's episode the absolutely ridiculous smear campaign that had just happened not very long ago, right? About 2 days ago, Litecoin's founder Charlie Lee made a statement on CoinDesk where they asked him about what a better financial decision he would have made, right, in the past was. And then he, just talked about, buying Bitcoin would obviously have been the better financial decision, but the Bitcoin mob, they caught a piece of that, just a little 40-second clip out of the interview and completely spun it out of context to perpetuate an idea that he, in fact, regrets creating Litecoin, which is ridiculous. But I mean, it's Maxi, so who's surprised? So yeah, that's the main topic of today's discussion. Of course, you can see right on the screen. This is the show format. So this is what we're going to be doing today, every single thing. Right now, we're doing the intro. After this, we're going to go into where the freak is altcoin season, right? Because where's altcoin season? We've been waiting for altcoin season for forever. It's not happened. Total 3 just took a massive hit today, while BNB hit an all-time high. Ridiculous stuff, right? So yeah, we're gonna be going through some of that, and then we're gonna be going to happy birthday Litecoin, of course, because today is the 14th birthday of Litecoin. 14 years ago today, the first successful altcoin went live for mining. So today, 14 years ago, people could start mining Litecoin, which is historic, right? This is just another evidence of the perseverance of the largest cryptocurrency, the longest running cryptocurrency blockchain without interruptions, which is Litecoin, by the way. And some of you might not know this, but Litecoin has in fact run much longer than Bitcoin has without any interruptions. So yeah, that's a quick Litecoin fact for those of you that don't know about Litecoin's immaculate track record. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that, of course. Then we're going to be going to the elephant in the room, or the elephant in the Maxi's pants. Why are they threatened by Litecoin? Because honestly, with what happened today, I'm flattered with what's been happening over the past few days, the smear campaign. It's left me nothing but flattered because, like, why are you guys going to that extent if you aren't in a way threatened by Litecoin? But anyways, we're gonna get into that. I don't want to get ahead of myself, and then we're gonna talk about Charlie is way too honest, honestly, because this is a very important thing I want to talk about, because like Charlie, Litecoin's founder, he's just way too honest. Honestly, of a person, it's just too honest, and it's a very strange thing where the world obviously does not respect and value honest people, and we live in, unfortunately, a reality, and a society where people that are generally selective with their honesty are being held at greater esteem, right? They're being held at a greater regard than people that are just generally brutally honest. And so we're going to be talking about that today. Um and then after that, we're gonna be going into some Litecoin dubious speculations, right? We're just gonna be playing with the chart. And so yeah, that's the order of events for today. So yeah, we're just gonna go right into the intro. So before I talk about more things, I just want to talk about this, right? If you like this t-shirt that I'm wearing, you like it, look at it. I'm just gonna shift my mic a bit so you can see it, right? So it's BTC LTC Doge. I got this T-shirt from 84 million. I'm just gonna show them in the screen right now. Just give me 1 second, and I will show you 84 million. I'll show you where you can get good Litecoin merch. Right? If you like Litecoin, if you hate Litecoin, whatever you Litecoin, I know Litecoin is implanted in the cognition of a lot of people. A lot of people, they think about Litecoin rent free. If you think about Litecoin rent free, then you need to understand where to get Litecoin merch. Why my screen not show on stage? Show my screen, brother. Okay, that is it. So this is where you get this cool Litecoin merch like this. It is 84million.com/shop, right? That's it. So you can see they have cool Litecoin hats, right? If you want to get some Litecoin hats for yourself, it's beautiful. They have really wonderful shirts. And you can see that this Pokemon style. If this is not, it looks like Pokemon. I don't know if it's another anime, but yeah, it looks like Pokemon. There's a Litecoin Pokemon style shirt, right? You can see that the trainer oversized tee. They have really cool Litecoin merch, honestly. Tees, they have stickers, they have hoodies, they literally have every single thing Litecoin merch related. If you want to get any Litecoin merch, you definitely should go to 84million.com/shop. Honestly, just go there. Look at this cool, the root hoodie, right? The root hoodie is Litecoin hoodie. And I can confirm, right, by virtue of me literally wearing one, that these are really high quality, very breathable shirts, right? They're very, really nice, very comfy. It doesn't feel like you're putting on anything. It's just light on your body, and it still has high quality, which is something that I really value about this 84 million merch that I'm wearing. And by the way, something that I need to say about 84 million, they have incredible customer support. So if you are, trying to get your order from them, very, very responsive, and they're just really great people. Honestly, you're gonna get your order. I am in a totally far away place from the world, in the world from where they are, and they got the merch to me. All of the merches that I got from them, they got it to me, and they were very friendly. They were very they helped me go through the process of trying to get it. And so they are absolutely wonderful customer support. And definitely you should check out 84million.com/shop to get your hands on some really cool Litecoin hoodie. So yeah, we're gonna be going into the other events again. So we're gonna be knowing what else we're doing today. So I'm just gonna keep welcoming people for a little bit, right? Welcome everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm just gonna look at the chat a little bit. Who is here? Let me start shouting all of you out. Master, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend. He is here. Lord Monochromicon is here. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Yeah, man. Welcome, 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 welcome. Lord Monochromicon. So, oh, 10-7 was the Genesis block creation. Thanks for that clarification, right? Litecoin went live 13th of October. Yes. So today, okay, I missed explained that, right? So today is the first is the celebration of the Genesis block, not when the chain went live. Okay, I definitely did get that wrong. Thank you for the clarification, Master. Thank you for that clarification. Appreciate that. So to further clarify that, we're just gonna go to the post from the Litecoin Foundation. So yeah, so this is it. On October 7, 2011, the first block of the Litecoin blockchain, the Genesis block, was mined by Satoshi Light, marking the official beginning of the Litecoin network. The Genesis hash for Litecoin was notably and intentionally generated using the S-script hashing algorithm. Over the years, Litecoin has undergone various updates and improvements, but the Genesis hash has remained a constant foundational pillar of the blockchain. It has played a crucial role in the network security, consensus mechanism, and overall integrity. Throughout Litecoin's history, the Genesis hash has stood as a symbol of its origins and growth. It represents the initial vision and purpose of creating a digital currency that is faster, more accessible, and secure. And yeah, so today's not the anniversary of when the block went live, but yeah, the anniversary of when the first block was mined. Thanks for that clarification, Master. So yeah, today is the official birthday of Litecoin, but yeah, not the day that it went live. So welcome everybody, welcome to the show, welcome. I just want to see if you are here. Let me see you. Just drop a comment. Let me shout you out. So we have Monochromic Horn, we have Master. Shout out every single person that is here now. Welcome. So in a bit, we're going to be beginning the show officially. We're going to be talking about altcoin season in a bit. So in about 2 minutes, we're going to be doing that. So welcome everybody. Let me see. Welcome everybody. Welcome. So just a little bit of context about the altcoin season tour. Again, like I said before, we host it every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Around 10 a.m., 11 a.m. EST, but I just woke up about an hour and 30 minutes ago. So yeah, this came a little late, right? So yeah, of course. So and we host it on our platforms. You can see that is the Flipping Finance. We have a page on X. You can follow us and follow the stream along on YouTube and on Twitch as well, if that's where you consume your live stream media. So that's what we do. What we do here is live stream about altcoins here. So welcome. And also, by the way, there's going to be altcoin season tour episodes first week, second week, and third week. But you see, fourth week of each month, there's definitely not going to be any alt season tour episode, so that I could just take that fourth week, that final week of the month of every single month, to just reset, right? So I don't get burnt out very quick, because these shows are very demanding. Anyway, so right now it's time. So we are going to be going into what's good altcoin. Where the is altcoin season, guys? You can see the altcoin season index is definitely down to 65. We were at 76 the other time. I mean, we even went all the way up to 84. It was about 84 before. So that's the mimetic number of Litecoin. So yeah, there are 84 million Litecoins. We're at 84 before this. I think we just clipped and then we came back. And now we're back to 65. We're getting absolutely smothered. We're not in altcoin season yet. And it sucks. Because where's the altcoin season? Look at that. Total 3. The total 3, we got this absolutely brutal correction on the total 3, just over the past couple of hours. This is just horrible, man. This is horrible. We need to see total 3 break out and just send us on a freaking alt season. We really need to. And by the way, this total 3, I'm looking for a way to get the total 3 chart that actually excludes stable coins, right? Because this total 3 chart includes stable coins, which is not something I'm a huge fan of. I don't like the fact that stables are included in this one, because then it doesn't give us an accurate depiction of exactly where we're at. I feel if you see based off of this chart, right, it looks like we are in fact getting close to this. We're about to break this, or even we have even broken this, resistance. I guess that's what it looks like. So it looks like we've broken this resistance on the total 3, and we've sort of like flipped it to support. But this total 3 chart is not. I don't place a lot of weight on it, just because it doesn't exclude the market cap of stable coins. So yeah, we've not officially broken out for altcoins, and we haven't set a good foundation for the beginning of altcoin season. So We just yeah, so no, altcoin season, we're not there, unfortunately. Today we got a very explosive run from BNB. BNB is absolutely destroying everything else, and this just hurts my stomach, bro. Like, exchange coins have been going parabolic this altcoin season, and I'm not really a fan of that, right? It's like it sucks to see the coins that are literally the embodiment of centralization. Like, I mean, absolutely get rewarded by the market. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist or anything, but like, I mean, if I was the biggest exchange in the world and I had access to so much capital, yeah, of course I'm gonna pump my bags. Just saying, right? And I guess one thing about BNB, I guess, is the fact that they have this burn mechanism where they bond BNBs by how much transaction fees they get. I don't know if I'm saying that particularly right, but yeah, there's a mechanism to burn the BNBs, and so it's sort of like allowed for them to efficiently keep the price of BNB up. I mean, BNB is up from the bottom to the top. Just gonna have to look at that. Yeah, it's about 600%. That's $1,000. I mean, this was inevitable. Anyways, congratulations if you hold BNB. Who holds BNB, bro? Like, who even holds this exchange coins, bro? I get, like, that's what I've been thinking when I see all of this. I mean, BGB went on an incredible run as well. BGB USD. Whenever I see this exchange coins just go parabolic, I'm always like, just look at this. Who the freak is buying this ish? Honestly, who the freak buys this ish? And you could just look at that insane run since you could just see that from the bottom of 2022, bottom in 2022, all the way here. We just went on that parabolic run. And it's not just BGB, it's not just BNB, it's like all of these exchange tokens, right? They've just been popping off. Feels like the cabals of these exchanges have, and that's insane. It seems like the cabals of these exchanges have gone, well, we're not gonna buy anything, we're not gonna pump anything that's not our bags. We're gonna pump our bags, because why are we gonna pump your bags, right? That's how it feels, right? Liquidity is so tight this altcoin season. I don't get it. I am absolutely it hurts my soul when I see exchange coins go up. But hey, that's just me. I'm just a salty Litecoiner, anyways. Anyways, let's go. Let's look at the mother of all altcoins. Of course, the only altcoin that I really believe in at the moment, and that is Litecoin. Yes, we are on track. There's something I want to say about Litecoin. Honestly, like, I know this is not the way a lot of people draw their this the pennant, right? And people, a lot of us, we say this pennant, people draw theirs differently. Some people draw theirs in a way that like collapses here, but I personally believe every single Litecoiner should be open to a possibility where this move delays, right? Because particularly with this attack, right, considering this attack that has happened, I mean, there seems to be a general desperation around Litecoin. There's just so much manipulation going on. But I believe that even though there are people that are trying to manipulate like the price to go down for nefarious reasons, right? People that are just trying to destroy it as a competition. At the other end of that, right, there are definitely people that are seeing that as an opportunity to just accumulate it. And those people are definitely going to take advantage of that to delay this as much as possible, because Litecoin is a very difficult coin to actually like accumulate for an institution. Besides the fact that like the community is very block-headed and nobody literally sells anything, it moves, right? We have hundreds of thousands of transactions going on every single day. It's just mobile, right? So like to get your hands on it without sending the price up is very, very difficult. So of course that is my explanation for this consolidation. So yeah, it's if I see a lot of us Litecoiners that particularly Litecoiners that have been here way before me and have been grinding this way before me. Way too many of us are at a point where we are a bit exhausted, right? Like, but everything just feels very frustrating. We've sort of like consolidated very long, and we haven't popped off yet. But honestly, there are algorithms that are paying attention to this frustration, this sentiments that we're putting out. A lot of us are like, if it doesn't happen now, then it wouldn't happen ever again. And definitely there are algorithms that are definitely mapping out these sentiments. So just in case they decide to capitalize on this, to just keep this going a little bit, and this ends up being very traditional up. Honestly, I don't think it's a bad thing to sort of like keep that idea in mind. Honestly, be open to anything. And I believe like the better Litecoin sentiment is just to just hold and pay more attention to the fact that the network's growing, honestly, and just accumulate and spend. So yeah, that's about like the chart. I feel like this could go on for a little longer, and it's still going to be perfect for me, honestly. There's no rush on Litecoin. But of course, considering all of the technical indicators we've been flashing, all the morning star patterns and everything, looks like we're about to rip. But whatever it is, we look perfect. Litecoin looks absolutely perfect. I believe whenever this pops, Jesus, it's gonna be incredible as usual. So let's look at ETH. Let's see what's going on with ETH, Ethereum. Oh boy. Yeah, ETH. I'm not bullish on ETH. Of course, I'm not bullish on it. Look at this strange uh diagram I drew on ETH the last time. Now I'm not bullish on ETH. ETH approaching this area of resistance for the first time since 2021 definitely scares me. I don't think it breaks by any significant amount. Honestly, you can just look at that, right? Look at ETH just approaching this resistance level for the first time. I mean, if we can just like put ETH and LTC like side by side, right? Oh my god. If we can just put ETH and LTC side by side, it definitely looks like ETH is about to pull off another LTC, which makes sense, right? Because we saw what happened last cycle where Litecoin just did a little blow off above the previous highs and then just came back down to consolidate. And I mean, that was the first time that we were testing that support area since 2017, and then we just rejected that. So it's a little bit of a repeat, in my opinion, with that Ethereum is going to do, right? You could just see what I mean. I have to expand this chart a little bit. You can see what I mean. This was the where's the rejection? And you can just see what I mean, right? So this was we had a test of this resistance, and then we had to confirm it. This was 2017, 2018. We had to confirm it in 2021, and just look at that, right? It's pretty much the same thing Ethereum is doing, in my opinion. I feel like not a lot of people are paying attention to the possibility that Ethereum might just be on the verge of pulling off what Litecoin pulled off last cycle. Probably do a little bit of fake out to 7,000 and fall back to reclaiming this channel. Because yeah, it's pretty much very similar to this, right? If you look at it, it's just like this this Litecoin Bennett that is forming on Ethereum again. It probably just gets up a bit and falls back down, reclaims this, and just goes on a bit of consolidation. This is what I feel like is going to happen to Ethereum, right? By the way, I'm just a dude on the internet that doesn't know what the freak he's doing here. Do not take this as financial advice, but no, I'm not bullish in Ethereum. I've been saying this like forever. I look at this chart, I'm not convinced this is going to break by any significant margin this cycle. So yeah, that's just my opinion on Ethereum. Anyways, we're going to be moving into the next segment of this stream, which is happy birthday Litecoin. Happy birthday Litecoin. You can see this post by the Litecoin Foundation. Where are you? So that's the post by the Litecoin Foundation. You can see the Genesis block of the Litecoin blockchain was created exactly today. That's 7th of October 2011. 7th of October 2011. That's when the Genesis block was mined, was created, and You know, it's a huge milestone, right? It's the official birthday of Litecoin, because that's when it all started for real. And there was this nice happy birthday poster that Litecoiner made. I just want to show everybody because it's really cool. I just got that in my bookmarks. Happy birthday, Litecoin. And yeah, from Captain Litecoin, happy birthday, Litecoin. 14 years of Litecoin resilience. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful poster from Captain Litecoin. Yeah, I mean, we need to do something special for Litecoin's official 14th birthday, like the 14th birthday, about when exactly the block mining was live, right? So we need to have something special that we're gonna do that day to celebrate that. I suggested before that we should contact Guinness World Record to try to get like a record for the longest running concurrent blockchain. But I don't know. I don't know if anyone really took that serious. I feel like that's going to be a huge part of marketing for Litecoin. The fact that we have gone 14 years and zero downtime. I mean, Bitcoin can brag about that, right? We are. Oh my God! Yeah, there's a Litecoin space going on. Oh my God! This is such a bad time to be live when the Litecoin account is officially hosting. Hey, you guys go join the Litecoin account. Or I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this like a recorded space. You guys can come watch this later. But go watch the Litecoin official account. Go listen to what we're hosting. Right. So, anyways. Like I was saying, yeah, it's incredible where we are today. Litecoin, incredible. Zero downtime, incredible. So we're just gonna go to the next phase, right? I don't think there's much to talk about besides just saying happy birthday to Litecoin. But Bitcoiners aren't threatened about Litecoin, right? I mean, honestly, I don't know about others, right? But when I saw the smear campaign that these Bitcoiners put up about Litecoin, when I saw this smear campaign, what came to my mind first was very simple. I was flattered. I don't know, right? I don't know if I'm the only one who had that reaction to it. I was genuinely flattered, honestly, because Bitcoiners will swear that they absolutely do not give a about Litecoin. They will swear that Litecoin is absolutely dead. They will look at the heavens and curse Litecoin out that it is dead, and they in fact do not have any single reason to even think about Litecoin. And then I see this. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is, right? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What do you mean? Like, I mean, it's a lot, right? We're gonna look at them like individually, right? Because this is just beautiful. This is beautiful. Because it means, I've been saying this for a very long time. Even when I wasn't live streaming, when I just used to make videos about Litecoin, I have always been saying these guys are threatened by Litecoin, and like everybody knows they are threatened by Litecoin. But for them to come out like this, oh my God, that's not it. For them to come out like this and show how threatened they are by Litecoin by trying to smear it. I saw that and I was just like, wow. Because like, guys, how, I don't know if I'm the only person that had that reaction, to be honest. Genuinely, I just felt this is it. This is the confirmation I've been waiting on. This is the confirmation I've been waiting on. Every single time I saw the video from Mike Novogratz, I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name. Sorry, Mike. Where Mike Novogratz said, he was live on CNBC, and it was like, strange to me that Litecoin appears on any form of it's because it was in the CNBC's index. It was strange to me that Litecoin appears on anybody's index like this. There's no development happening on it. Blah 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 blah. And right there, right live, the Litecoin symbol. I think that the host sort of asked him, "Oh, what should be there instead?" And it was and Mike was like, "Oh, maybe Solana, maybe Terra Luna." And live, it was swapped. Litecoin was swapped live on CNBC for Solana and Terra Luna. I know that generally, when things like this happen, the logical thing to think is maybe it's just coincidence, right? Maybe it's not. It's it's very difficult to say that it's a personal attack without sounding like a conspiracy theorist. But what are the odds that the technical team would be in place, standby, ready to change something in the back end, right as Mike Novogratz was talking about it? Because like it's coming, it's national television. It's national television. That thing, it just doesn't happen. It can't. You can't come and say, oh, why is this back end thing like this, change it, and then it just changes right there live. It's not possible. It's not possible. There's no other explanation for what happened on CNBC live. I think it was 2021, right? 2021 or 2020. I think it's 2021, where Mike Novogratz made them bring down the Litecoin ticker live. There's no other explanation for that besides it was a very well planned hit job. This has been happening with Litecoin for a very long time. So that was one of the things, because I don't know if people have been noticing, like when I started making videos for Litecoin. Matter of fact, on my page, I wasn't a Litecoin core believer, right? I was just someone who supported Litecoin and felt like it had a lot of potential. It was suppressed, of course, and it's definitely going to pop off at some point, right? I didn't have a strong conviction in Litecoin before, but like over time, I've been gradually becoming more Litecoin specific, Litecoin focused. And one of the things that pushed me towards that Litecoin conviction was, in fact, that video by Mike Novogratz and CNBC. What happened then? When I saw the recording of that clip, I just went, no, Litecoin is definitely special. Litecoin is definitely special. There's nothing you can tell me. Litecoin is absolutely special. And from that day, my conviction, for Litecoin has just been moving forward. And you can look at what's happening, right? Look at it. Documenting Bitcoin. Creator of Litecoin, formerly the second largest cryptocurrency, Charlie Lee says, just buy Bitcoin. Wow. And you just go down. The inventor of Litecoin regrets making Litecoin. He recommends buying and hodling Bitcoin only. And you see this is just an absolute freaking douche, right? Undoxed wizard. Charlie Lee did the original pump and dump, creating Litecoin, giving himself supply, and then selling the generational top in 2017. Put some respect on Solana, just making it easy for others to launch tokens. And Jesus, guy. Oh my God. This should be in some Hall of Fame for most stupid shit ever said online. What the frick is this? You can imagine that's from January. That's from January, by the way. A lot of people they're gonna go like it's sort of like feeding. There's a feedback loop that's only happening with retail, right? Where a lot of them are just going, "Oh, Litecoin is this, Litecoin is that," based on what these people are saying, and yeah, it's just creating a negative sentiment for Litecoin only in the retail community. These guys, this absolute I don't want to use a bad word, right? These guys that are orchestrating this smear campaign, they do not believe it. They do not believe a second of it, because you can't tell me it's like, the people that are falling for this are retail. Retail are the ones falling for this. Retail have been the only ones falling for this. And of course, history is just going to repeat itself again, and retail is going to finish last as usual. So now, buy Bitcoin, don't sell, and don't do anything else related to crypto. Charlie Lee, creator of Litecoin. I mean, that's a little more mundane, right? It's not regret crypto like some of them, said. So Charlie Lee says he regrets creating Litecoin. Just just buy and hodl, bro. This Charlie Lee expresses regrets over, bro, guys, like seeing this is just absolutely flattering in my opinion. The Bitcoin historian, if these behemoths of Bitcoin publications, right, this large Bitcoin outlets are going to go all the way to say that type of thing about Litecoin, how are you not flattered? How are you not flattered? I am. I think it's incredible. Okay, now this is pulling out. Jeez. Okay, my whole setup is breaking live. I need to fix this. Oh boy. Okay. So, by the way, for those of us who don't know, for those of us who don't know exactly what happened, right? This is the absolute clarification of what Litecoin's founder meant when he in that twisted conversation that is going on right now, that's making the rounds right now. We're gonna go to CoinDex. I recommend everybody should I recommend that everybody go watch the full interview to understand the context of what he said. Not even the full interview. You don't need to watch the full interview to understand context, right? There's a particular segment of that interview. You just need to watch like 30 seconds prior. Hear the question that was asked. And when you hear the question that was asked, then you hear the answer. That's all you need to do. Because I understand, like, most people have the attention span of a freaking goldfish. So how about you just go, and I'm gonna make it very easy for you. You just go, rewind the clip by about 30 seconds, and watch for 1 minute, 1 minute, and then you'd understand exactly what was going on there. And I'm just gonna pull that up real quick. I don't know how I can play that everyone's gonna hear it. So just give me a second. Trying to pull it up. Oh boy. I'm trying to pull it up. Got my keyboard in caps. And Charlie has on CoinDex. Uh, uh, um, I mean, it's cool, right? I'm trying to bring out. I'm trying to pull out the main interview itself. I guess. I guess this is it. This has to be. Mm, 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 mm. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is not it. Is it only on YouTube? I thought there was one. There was one particular. There was one person that's an X. Um, one particular one that's an X that could see a directory of exact the the timestamp of the conversation, and that's what I'm trying to pull up. But if I can't see it, I'm just gonna go check the one that's on YouTube so we can see it. Oh boy. Anyways, the point is, these guys, right? It's just TLDR. There's no need for me to pull the video up. The TLDR is simple, right? These guys, they saw what Litecoin's founder said, Charlie Lee, and they twisted it. And so that's exactly what happened. And I'm gonna try to explain what Charlie Lee meant in a way that is as simple as possible. Now, the interviewer asked Charlie, Litecoin's founder, the interviewer asked Charlie if he could go back in time to do something different financially, right? It's particularly financial decision question. What would it be? And Charlie said, well, probably just buy Bitcoin, sit on it and don't sell anything. And of course, don't do anything else that's Bitcoin related. Now, what exactly did he mean by this? One thing to understand is that Litecoin founder Charlie, if you've been watching his interviews, you quickly notice that he's an introvert, right? So he's someone who obviously values his privacy a lot, right? He's someone that values his privacy a lot. And so he was basically saying that, I mean, considering how much exposure that has come with him being um a public crypto founder, everyone's hating on him, everyone's talking about him, everyone's misquoting him, I mean, the spotlight is just way too much for him, right? So as an introvert, right, the better financial decision, of course, would have just been buy Bitcoin and do nothing. That's the better financial decision. It's not the same as he regrets. It's not. Because if they had asked him what would have been the better life decision or something, or, that's a different question, right? The better financial decision, obviously, I mean, if you think about it, right? Picture this: two hypothetical lifetimes. One lifetime where Charlie just bought Bitcoins, never mind anything, just bought Bitcoins from his early days, sat on it and never sold. And think about this lifetime we're in, where Charlie did create Litecoin, went through all of the stress, mining everything, all of the energy, the cost, and cost into production. And he not only talked about like the Litecoin creation decision, right? I mean, even the decision to mine Bitcoin. He said like there's a lot of energy that goes into just mining Bitcoin. So like if this timeline where he does all of that, right? How much he ends up with here versus how much he would have ended up with in the other timeline where he just bought Bitcoin and did nothing. Obviously, that timeline he would end up with much more money. It's not the same as he regrets Litecoin. It's not the same. It's just what would have been the better financial decision objectively. But they know this. They know exactly why they decided to just spin that narrative anyways. And honestly, yeah, it's just such an irony that that's the thing that Charlie has been complaining about. That's the thing that Charlie has been complaining about. That's one of the things that Charlie has felt so bad about, right? The fact that like just way too many people just bully him, they drag his name in the mud, they say whatever they want to say about him, and they take his words out of context a lot, right? And that's the thing, right? That it's so funny. It's such an irony. But I guess it's what it is, right? I guess it's what it is. But yeah, that's a simple explanation. The question they asked was about finance. Like it was, what would have been the better financial decision? And the truth is, if you think about two lifetimes, right? One lifetime where Charlie just bought Bitcoins, didn't mine any Bitcoin, didn't create any cryptocurrency of his own, and another lifetime where Charlie literally did everything he did in this lifetime. Obviously, the one where he just bought Bitcoin, sat on it, and did nothing would have been the better decision financially. It would have been the lifetime with a better financial outcome versus this one. It's an objective answer to a question. It has nothing to say about motivation. They didn't ask him, well, are you losing motivations about creating Litecoin? Are you losing your motivation, the motivation that made you start creating Litecoin? That's not a question. Do you hate Litecoin? That's not a question. It's not a question about purpose. It's not a question about intention. It wasn't a question about anything that has to do with how he feels about Litecoin. It's just a simple question like, what would have been the better financial decision? And the answer is just simple. The better financial decision would have been just stack Litecoin. Stack Bitcoin rather from the beginning. If they had asked him, well, what would have been the better life decision, right? Even if he said yes, the better life decision would have been to buy Bitcoin and just not do anything. It's not the same as expressing regret over creating Litecoin. It's just what the better life decision would have been, right? Because obviously he would have ended up with much more money, and as an introvert that he is, he would have ended up with much less publicity. How can someone even listen to that and like pick up an interpretation that he regrets creating Litecoin? It's incredible. It's ridiculous. But it's Maxi. It's Maxi. It's just how the Maxis be doing it. And so at this point, right, I just don't. I'm at a point where I think to myself, right, are we still in Litecoin, are we still in a situation where what the founder says, the market cares about what the founder says? Because like all of what's happened, Litecoin barely budged. We didn't even budge. We just we sneezed a little bit and then we're back up. I need to show the chart real quick. All of the slander, all the smear campaign, and what did we do on the chart, right? We're just gonna zoom that in a little bit. What happened? All of the smear campaigns and absolutely freaking nothing. Nothing happened to Litecoin. We're just retesting this we're just holding on to this very long-term support line. It's nothing, literally. There's no effect. So like if it's left to me, right, I'm not gonna give this controversy or this attempt at smearing, because it's a failed attempt at smearing Litecoin. I'm not gonna give it much brain space, right? I'm not gonna give it much thought. Matter of fact, besides this live stream, never gonna talk about it again, honestly, besides just jokingly referring to it as like just some nonsense, because it's just some nonsense and it has absolutely no impact. Because what if Charlie doesn't care about Litecoin? What if Charlie does in fact not give a fuck about Litecoin? What if he doesn't? What if he regrets Litecoin indeed? What does that even matter? It's a decentralized, totally open source cryptocurrency. The network has been growing. How should it be? Why should any justification for why it should be deserve a lesser valuation or anything, or why it should be dead, or why it should be ignored? Why should such be contingent on whatever the founder says? What does it even matter? They keep distracting people away from the real fact of the matter, which is that Litecoin's network has been growing so much, and they continue to distract people from the matter by pointing to these nonsenses, because it's just absolute nonsense. It's garbage, it's trash, it doesn't matter. Even if they were right, even if they were in fact correct that Litecoin's founder in fact regrets creating Litecoin, it still doesn't matter for shit. It doesn't matter, because the only thing that matters is Litecoin's network growth. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why they are in fact terrified of Litecoin, right? Because you see the sheer number, I showed it, right? Number of people that are going after Litecoin, the sheer number of them is definitely representative of a hit squad. That's what it's representative of. It's definitely a hit squad, right? It looks like anxiety. It's like Bitcoin maximalists are like that dude that swears to you that he is. Bitcoin maximalists are like that one dude that swears to you that wallahi, he is done with his ex, right? Wallahi, I'm done with my ex, bro. I swear I'm done with my ex. I'm not doing anything about her. But then He continues to say that every single day. They've broken up 2 years ago, but he never stops talking about it. Like every single thing that happens, he's gonna be like, yo, that my ex, bro. Like, well, I'm done with her. You know, she's trash to me. She don't mean anything to me. But though that my ex, though, she did. That's exactly how Bitcoin maximalists sound like, right? I mean, if it doesn't matter to you, why all of this hit squad on Litecoin? Why all of this? And I will explain it to you why they are attacking Litecoin. I'll explain it to you in a bit because it's gonna be clear, especially those that are not Litecoin. I mean, those of us that are Litecoin natives, we understand why. But like some people that are not Litecoin natives, they wouldn't understand. So I'm just gonna show you I'm going to show you Litecoin's daily transaction chart. And I'm going to plot it against Bitcoin's daily transaction chart so you would understand why they are acting the way they are acting. Because again, when people are going the extra mile to try to discredit something, then there's something at stake if they do not do it. There's something at stake. There's something they're protecting. There's something that needs to be protected, and that's why they are acting like that. If there's no reason, if there's no benefit to trying to discredit something, there is absolutely no reason for them to try to discredit it. And that's just the best way. And I'm just gonna show you guys real quick. This on my screen that you're gonna see now is the reason why Bitcoiners have a very knee-jerk reaction to anything they hear that's Litecoin. This is the reason. This is the reason. All of this Litecoin smear. All of this Litecoin smear. This is the reason. For those of you that are not Litecoiners, that don't understand what you're looking at, let me show you what this is. The one on the red is Litecoin's daily transaction chart, and the one that is blue is Bitcoin's daily transaction chart. Now, this chart is going back to the inception of Litecoin, back to around the inception of Litecoin, back to 2011. That's what this chart is tracking, right? So that you would understand the context behind why these guys are going the extra mile. And no, not just that. I'm going to throw in Bitcoin Cash. I'm going to throw in Monero to really highlight it for you. So you're going to see why the amnesia is generally around Litecoin and not the others. So I'm just going to have to highlight that. Okay, honestly, it's just okay. Let me show you without this noise, because like Monero and Bitcoin Cash, they just look so much like noise. I have to take them off. Let me show you the main ones, right? So yeah, this is Litecoin versus Bitcoin since Bitcoin's inception. And I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna try to show you this using the bull markets, right? I'm gonna try to use the transaction numbers of the bull markets to explain it to you, so you'd understand. So during the 2013 bull market, you can see that Litecoin was averaging around oh my, okay, I have to scroll this up a little bit. Oh, how do they turn this up? This thing irks me, bro. I don't like seeing this. This thing just blocks off the transactions. I just have to zoom that in so I can see it, whatever. Anyways, you can see that during the 2013 bull market, Litecoin was having around an average of, let's say, 600 transactions every day. 600 transactions every day for Litecoin. 2012, 2013, that was like the average. And look at what that was for Bitcoin. For Bitcoin, that was about 26,000. That was in 2013. Now look at what happens in 2017 bull market. So we're just gonna zoom the 2017 era in, right? And you can see that in 2017, Litecoin was doing about 3,000 transactions on average, about 3,000 transactions on average, you can see. And Bitcoin was already doing about 200,000 transactions every day on average. Litecoin was doing about 3,000 transactions every day on average. Bitcoin was doing about 200,000 transactions every day. Incredible. Just how many people were using Bitcoin as opposed to Litecoin, right? So Bitcoin was doing about 80 times more transactions than Litecoin was doing. Now, the gap started to close in 2020, the 2020-2021 bull market. You can just see that. Bitcoin was doing 300,000 transactions per day, while Litecoin was now doing about 30,000 transactions. So now you see what's happening is that Litecoin's adoption has been growing, right? So Bitcoin transaction only gained between that period, right? Bitcoin transaction only gained about 50% more transactions, right? From around 200,000 something transactions to about 300,000 something transactions. Litecoin, on the other hand, went from about 3,000 to about 30,000. So Litecoin did like a 10x, Bitcoin did like a 50% gain. And Litecoin started closing in. And what are the odds that it was around this time when Litecoin started closing in on Bitcoin's transaction that we had that absolute hit job from Mike Novogratz on CNBC? What were the odds? Anyways, look at what happens here. 2022. Let's look at what's happening in 2022. Litecoin came all the way up to about 100,000 transactions on average, while Bitcoin sort of like went down to about 200 and something thousand transactions every day. And what's happening today is the gap is now so close that Litecoin is doing around 200,000 transactions every day, while Bitcoin is doing around 400,000 transactions per day. So on average, Bitcoin is doing around 300,000, 400,000 transactions per day, while Litecoin is doing about 200,000 transactions per day. So what has this translated to? This is translated to a graph where Litecoin on the red has been growing steadily in adoption. And you can see the gap before was very consistent, very wide. Litecoin is the one in red, Bitcoin is the one in blue. And Litecoin has been growing steadily with regards to like the transactions that's happening every day, to the point where this wide gap between Bitcoin and Litecoin no longer exists today because it's so narrow right now. And by the way, Bitcoin is at an all-time high. Bitcoin continues to break all-time highs. Bitcoin is about 120 something thousand $1,000 right now. Litecoin has not moved. Litecoin has not moved. You're gonna understand why they have amnesia, why they don't want Litecoin to move at all. At all. They don't want it to move at all. Because now the stakes are higher, the gap is closer, and they are wetting their pants. Because if Litecoin, when Litecoin, because it's not if, right? They can only suppress Litecoin for so long. Money is agnostic. Money doesn't care about ideals. And the moment Bitcoin starts becoming much, much heavier, money is just going to flow into what's going to give them more capital. And the moment money starts flowing into Litecoin, it's over. There's absolutely nothing the Bitcoiners can do anymore. There's absolutely nothing. So Litecoin has been bleeding against Bitcoin. Are you seeing this? This is why all of this smear campaign, this is why all of this smear campaign is going on Charlie. Litecoin's price, oh my God, no, cancel. Litecoin's price against Bitcoin has been falling down, right? Litecoin price and Bitcoin has been falling down incredibly, while Litecoin's adoption against Bitcoin has been rising. Do you understand? Litecoin's price, I repeat, Litecoin's price against Bitcoin is going down. Litecoin's network, like Litecoin's users, Litecoin's transaction every day is going up against Bitcoin. Do you understand why they are having this incredible convulsion right now? This is why they are convulsing. This is why they are taking, this is why they're spinning the most ridiculous narratives. They're scared. They're afraid. Do you know what happens if this Litecoin's price, because again, if you look at it, like I said, Bitcoin has been at all-time highs, while the transactions of Bitcoin has just sort of like stayed here. While Litecoin has just been consolidated. It's not even moved at all. While we're literally half as much transactions every day. So we have grown from about 100 times less transactions than Bitcoin daily to just about half as much transactions as Bitcoin daily, while Litecoin's price has continued to fall from about 3% of a Bitcoin, 0.03, is about from about 3% of a Bitcoin to about less than a thousandth of a Bitcoin. Yeah, because one Litecoin is less than a thousand of a Bitcoin. So the Litecoin's price, and we're just gonna do this right. 2014. What was the? We're gonna look at November 2013 when the Bitcoin hit its peak. The peak of about 6% of Bitcoin. 6% of Bitcoin was the peak of November 2013, Friday, November 2013. Let's look at how much transactions Litecoin was doing compared to Bitcoin November 2013. So November 2013. So this is 2013. It's just gonna zoom that in a bit. So where is November 2013? So November 2013, at Litecoin's absolute peak against Bitcoin, it was doing about 10 times less transactions as Bitcoin was. And before that run up even started, we were doing much less, about 50 times less. But even when the run up started, we're still doing about 10 times less transactions as Bitcoin. About 10 times less transactions as than Bitcoin was doing, right? And we were worth about 7% of a Bitcoin. But right now that we're doing half as much, right? Because now we're doing half as much transactions as Bitcoin is. Now that we're doing half as much transaction as Bitcoin is, what is the price? 1,000th of a Bitcoin, less than 1,000. So when we were about 7% of a Bitcoin, we were doing about 10 times less a transaction. Now that we're worth 1,000th of a Bitcoin, we're doing half as much transactions. And how do people see this and find different justifications for why they say Litecoin is dead? It's incredible mental gymnastics, but I don't care, right? What I care about is showing you why these guys are having insane paranoia over Litecoin, that they go ahead and disgrace themselves like this, going on this ridiculous smear campaign. This is the reality. And they're scared. Why are they even scared? Litecoin isn't even trying to destroy Bitcoin or anything. It's not trying to replace Bitcoin. It's a very strange one, because what's inevitable, right? You see, each time we went on like a flat bed, we jumped up and then we had a higher footing with the transactions, and then we jumped up and then we had a higher footing with transaction. Then we jumped up and we had a higher footing, and we're doing that. So whenever Litecoin's price goes on another run up against this Bitcoin's chart, what's gonna happen is that Litecoin's on-chain metrics is gonna jump up and eclipse that of Bitcoin, and it's just gonna set another higher footing. And we're not just gonna spike like we have before, right? Because whenever you see these spikes, it's usually when there's hype in network activity, right? Especially when the price is going up. So we're not just gonna spike; we're gonna stay above Bitcoin in transactions. And you cannot hide that from the market. There's no amount of Bitcoin only narrative you can use to hide that from the market. And by the way, if you think this metrics are fake, this Litecoin metrics are fake, go look at all of the payment processors that have both Litecoin and Bitcoin on it, and just see for yourself just how much ground Litecoin's been gained against Bitcoin. BitPay is a Bitcoin focused payments processor platform. It took a lot of time before they introduced Litecoin, but since they introduced Litecoin has absolutely dominated Bitcoin on it. It's now number one. It's been number one for more than a year and a half. It's the same on CoinKit. It's the same on CoinMe. It's the same on a lot of these guys. So if Litecoin right now more than ever, if this Litecoin's price move up, let's say we come up and then we start claiming serious levels, right? it's gonna bring attention to Litecoin. And of course, the network participation, right? The number of people that are transacting on network are gonna go up, right? If Litecoin comes and reclaims this level, the people that are gonna be looking at this chart, there's gonna be way more people, way more, you know, financial institutions, you know, people with a lot of liquidity that are gonna be looking at the fact that Litecoin's adoption has just very confidently eclipsed that of Bitcoin. And once that happens, the Bitcoin only narrative can no longer hold water. It can't, because all that will be left for Bitcoin will be the memetics of being the first, the king, the largest, but nothing else. And money doesn't care about sentiments that much. I mean, it does care about sentiments, but what it cares most about is what's going to generate more money, right? And once money starts flowing into this and the narrative starts shifting, it just makes Litecoin, it starts to increase the chances of Litecoin being able to continue to go up. And by extension, that makes it even more difficult to convince that capital to flow into Bitcoin that just had its network eclipsed by Litecoin. And so what's going to be left for the Bitcoin maximalists? Because the capital is just going to keep flowing into Litecoin, because there's just no reason for the capital to flow into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will have to consolidate. And they don't feel comfortable yet. They don't feel comfortable enough to allow this to happen. And that's why they're going the extra mile to prevent it. But guess what? They can't do it forever. They just can't do it forever. So, like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Now you understand why they are all, you know, trying their best to pull up all of this bullshit. Now you understand why. This is why they're doing this. This is why. But they can't do it for, it can't work forever, of course. So, yeah. And let me even show you something. So it's not just like, oh, why is it only Litecoin? Why is it only Litecoin? Why not XMR? Why not Dogecoin? Why not Bitcoin Cash? Let's look at it. Let's look at some of the other proof of work coins that are, top proof of work coins. Let's put up Dogecoin. Let's put up XMR. I'm going to do Dogecoin Bitcoin. Then I'm going to do XMR Bitcoin. Then I'm going to do Litecoin Bitcoin. Because like the charts, the chart of XMR and Dogecoin there, and some of, and particularly Bitcoin Cash as well, is very noisy. So oh boy, I just put up Dogecoin. It's very noisy. So if I put Litecoin there, you won't see my point. I guess I'm just gonna. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open them, across different browsers. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So this is Dogecoin Bitcoin on adoption. Then we're gonna look at Litecoin Bitcoin. We're gonna look at Litecoin Bitcoin, Dogecoin Bitcoin, and then we're gonna look at Bitcoin Cash Bitcoin, so that you would understand why the Bitcoiners are trying their best, and you'd understand why it makes sense that they continue to try their best to destroy Litecoin's perception as much as possible. It will make sense to you. So that's the Litecoin Bitcoin, and I'm gonna pull up Bitcoin Cash Bitcoin or XMR Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up XMR Bitcoin so you'd see how Litecoin is faring in comparison to. And by the way, if you're just new in crypto, honestly, when it comes to proof of work coins, if you don't forget about what Bitcoin maximalists are saying, the only thing that really matters on a fundamental level is who's using the chain, and that's just what matters. What matters is where the adoption is at. They've been trying to push for the memetics of Bitcoin only because they don't have any adoption to continue to push the moat anymore. And so that's why they're acting the way they're acting. So don't fall for it, because a monetary instrument, which is what Bitcoin and Litecoin are at the end of the day, a monetary instrument can only stay above its adoption, stay way overvalued above its adoption curve for so long. It's not gonna stay like that forever. So if you're new and you don't understand, the only chart you should be looking at is the on-chain chart. That's the only chart you should be looking at when it comes to this. So you understand what's going on with this proof of work coins, because it's not the same. I mean, proof of stake coins are not, their valuations are not the same as that of proof of work coins. It's much different. There's a whole lot more going on there that I don't even understand. Honestly, I don't understand. They just come up and they pop off, and I don't get it. So yeah. So why is it only Litecoin that they have been trying to smear and bring down? Okay, this is Dogecoin versus Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the one in blue. Inception. At inception, right? Dogecoin was doing around 20 something thousand transactions, while Bitcoin was doing around 105,000 transactions. And this was about 2015. 2015, Dogecoin was doing about 20 something. Bitcoin was doing around 100 something, right? Thousand transactions. Right now, what's happening? Dogecoin is doing around 30 something thousand transactions. Bitcoin is doing around 300, 400,000 transactions per day. You compare that to Litecoin that was doing about Litecoin that was doing about I don't know, 1,000 transactions, while Bitcoin was already doing why Bitcoin was already doing 40, 50,000. Litecoin was doing like 30 times, 40 times less than Bitcoin was doing. But right now is doing about half as much as Bitcoin is doing, right? It's now doing about 200,000. And you can see Litecoin, the red, has just been growing and gaining. It's been growing. That's the thing. It's been growing against Bitcoin, while Dogecoin has just been moving all over the place, right? I mean, there's growth. I mean, this is a much higher floor than this was, but it's not the same as what you're seeing with Litecoin. It's just not the same. And that's why it's only Litecoin. Again, let's look. This is Monero, right? It had the initial spike of adoption, but this was the first floor that having the growth against Bitcoin as well. But you can still see it's not a steep. I mean, when Monero was doing about 500 transactions, Bitcoin was doing about 121,000 transactions. Right now, Monero is doing about 20,000. It's still 20 times less than Bitcoin's about 400,000 transactions. So it doesn't appear to be a serious competitor, right? And particularly if you look at when was it doing 20,000? It was not very long ago. It's still doing that about 2019. Plus, Bitcoiners have even less of a reason to worry about Monero, because Monero is a privacy coin anyways, right? So governments are not going to adopt Monero, right? Because governments want to spy on people. ETFs are not going to include Monero because no one wants to include a coin that like governments start to like crack down on. Of course. So they're not afraid they're not afraid of Monero at all. But it's not the case with Litecoin, right? So this Litecoin's growth, man, I mean, that of Monero is a bit flatter, but even besides that, this Litecoin's growth means so much to them. Because Litecoin is the one that's going to get in ETFs. Litecoin is the one that is already in IRAs. Litecoin is the one that nation states can adopt, right? So it matters to them. This matters to them more than this. Now let's look at Bitcoin Cash. God have mercy upon us. Bro, I don't even know, bro. Yo, let's go. Master, shout out to you, Master. Shout out to bro. Appreciate you. Anyways, Bitcoin Cash. God have mercy upon us. No wonder Bitcoin Cash has been outperforming Litecoin in the market recently. I mean, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it, right? God have mercy upon us. What is this, bro? What is this? What is this? What? I mean, guys, what is this? What is this? What is this Monero's chart, bro? Like, gosh. Anyways, this is why they don't care about Monero. This is why it's Litecoin only. Because first of all, Monero doesn't even threaten Bitcoin because Monero is the second largest coin. It's the second biggest coin. I say Monero, Bitcoin Cash rather. Bitcoin Cash rather. Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash. I think I've been saying Monero. What is this? Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash. I don't know. Monero's in my mouth. Anyways, yeah, this is why they don't care about Bitcoin Cash. Is because like you look at it. Just look at it. It's compare Bitcoin Cash one in red, Bitcoin's one in blue. Compare this to Litecoin against Bitcoin. It's look at it. Bitcoin Cash against Bitcoin in adoption, Litecoin against Bitcoin in adoption. Bitcoin Cash against Doge in adoption, Litecoin against Doge in adoption. Bitcoin Cash against XMR in adoption, Litecoin against XMR in adoption. Litecoin against Bitcoin in a Litecoin against Bitcoin in adoption. It's not the same. It's just not the same. And that's why the fear exists for a Litecoin. Dogecoin's not getting that much adoption and transaction size, so they don't care. Also, Dogecoin is infinite, so they don't care. Litecoin is getting okay, let's go to the next one. Monero is never gonna get adopted by ETFs, institutions, or all that, so they don't care. And Bitcoin Cash, whatever this adoption is definitely I mean it's the second largest coin in Bitcoin's hashing algorithm. So of course, it's always going to be less secure than Bitcoin. So they don't care about it. Plus the adoption, the adoption, they don't care about whatever this is. Honestly, what the frick is this? No, they don't care about that. But you see, Litecoin it has a hashing algorithm of its own, so they can't attack it on chain, right? And it's not a privacy coin, right? It's not a privacy coin, so nation states are of course are going to adopt it. There are multiple ETFs for it and all of that. And Litecoin network has been growing significantly against Bitcoin's network. So this is why they are going after Litecoin and they're not going after Monero. It's why they are not also going about after Bitcoin Cash. It's why they are not also going about after Dogecoin or the other proof of works. So that explains the Bitcoin maximalist amnesia. No, not amnesia. They're paranoia about Litecoin. That is why they're so paranoid about Litecoin. They are afraid, guys. They're afraid. There's no other explanation for it. There's nothing else that threatens them. I've just showed you. I showed you some of the largest proof of work coins. I showed you Monero, right? It's not growing as much as Litecoin, and it's privacy. So it's definitely never going to take away from their ETF pie. So they don't care about it. Bitcoin Cash is not as secure because it's the second coin in their hashing algorithm, of course. So they can attack it whenever they want if it ever becomes a threat. So they don't care about it. Plus, its adoption. Justice for Bitcoin Cash, man. Its adoption is laughable. So they don't care about it. Dogecoin, the supply is infinite, and it still doesn't have the adoption, right? So they don't care about it. Litecoin is what they care about. Litecoin is what scares them. And by the way, when I'm talking about scare, right? Litecoin doesn't scare Bitcoin maximalists in general. It's a select fact, a select faction of Bitcoin maximalists, because Charlie Lee is a Bitcoin maximalist, and he's not the Bitcoin maximalist of like every other thing is worthless. I mean, it definitely doesn't support like all of this proof of stake chains, but he's not the type of person that'll be rooting against these things, right? It's not that type of Bitcoin maximalist. And over time, I've been growing into becoming something like a Bitcoin maximalist myself, honestly, because I mean, I used to be, I used to have no particular philosophical attachment to crypto, right? It was just altcoins, and I felt like, oh, Litecoin was a good altcoin. I mean, it has so much potential, all of these things. But the more I am in this space, the more I continue to associate with this space, the more I continue to learn and understand this space, the more I continue to like adopt like a Bitcoin only position, which is like a Bitcoin's only position rather, which is a Bitcoin, Litecoin, proof of works general. So right now I'm sort of like a proof of work maxi. You can call me that, honestly, because I have a very strong preference for proof of work. I'm just not philosophically in line with anything that's not a fair distribution through a mining process. So yeah, that's for that. That's for that. Now, when it comes to Bitcoin maximalists, like I was saying, there are two types of Bitcoin maximalists, in my opinion. There are the Bitcoin maximalists that, I mean, they want Bitcoin to succeed. They don't support other things, but they're not trying to destroy other things, right? They're not afraid when other Bitcoin chains, right, are gaining, or rising adoption. They're not afraid by it. It doesn't scare them. These are the people that have a very philosophical um attachment to Bitcoin, and so that's what their maximalism is about, right? They talk about the Satoshi standard, and they mean it. They understand. And these guys, they don't talk. They're quiet. The brightest of minds are usually the quietest of people. I'm obviously not the brightest of minds by their logic, but whatever. Yeah, so they don't talk. And then you have the Bitcoin maximalist capitalists. So they are the philosophical Bitcoin maximalists and the Bitcoin maximalist capitalists. So the Bitcoin maximalist capitalists are thinking about Bitcoin like, this is a business, and I'm going to destroy every other thing that's coming after my business. So they do not have a philosophical attachment to the idea of Bitcoin. It's about the money. It's about their bags. Their bags need to pump. That's what it's about for them. So they don't care about the what Bitcoin is for. They don't care about the adoption. They don't care about anything. They just want Bitcoin to continue to pump. And anything that might take a little bit of liquidity out of that pie, they're going to destroy it. And every other thing takes some liquidity from Bitcoin. Every other proof of work thing takes some liquidity from Bitcoin, particularly recently, but not Litecoin. And the reason is because Litecoin is not just a Bitcoin chain that can take liquidity from Bitcoin, but can keep it. Because, I mean, if Bitcoin Cash starts going up, it's definitely going to pop at some point and just fall back down to a very pointless, position. Why? Because it's the same hashing algorithm as Bitcoin. So it's the second, it's less secure than Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin miners theoretically can attack it. So they don't care. It's not going to take a lot of pie from Bitcoin at this point. It's dead against Bitcoin, right? If Monero starts to take from the Bitcoin pie, I mean, it's definitely not going to come take from their ETF pies, right? So they don't really care that much. I mean, Dogecoin is a meme coin, right? So who's going to take it seriously anyways? That's the way they look at Dogecoin. And it has an infinite supply. Oh, not Litecoin, bro. Not Litecoin. Litecoin. What are they going to say against it? Well, I mean, it has its own hashing algorithm. So, of course, it's not less secure than Bitcoin. Oh, what can they say? It's infinite supply. Oh, no, it's not infinite supply. It's 84 million finite supply. Oh, it's privacy coin. Oh, no, that's just MWeb. It's just a layer 2, right? Governments can decide to not allow MWeb to run in their country. And yeah, it's I don't know if they can. I don't think they can stop MWeb like that. But of course, they can ban any applications that have MWeb access from their countries, right? So it's not a threat to them, right? They can just make their country enforce and let their countries use only Litecoin, the L1, without ever having to touch the privacy layer. So of course, it's not a privacy coin. So what can they say against Litecoin? Nothing. So like if Litecoin starts taking from this pie, it's gonna eat it up. So they don't want that. They don't want that. It's gonna eat it up. It's gonna keep it. And who knows, right? I mean, yeah, we want Litecoin to get to $100 billion market cap. But you know what it means for Litecoin to be sitting at about $200 billion market cap? Do you know what that means? Do you know what that puts in the minds of people? I mean, people are just gonna look at it and look at Bitcoin. They're gonna be going, I mean, why should I hold Bitcoin? It's gonna stir a lot of questions up in the minds of people if Litecoin gets there. And that's why they don't want it. That's why they don't want it, because it's gonna stir a lot of questions up. It's gonna destroy so many mythologies, so many myths. It's gonna destroy so many things that they've been trying to enforce, on the market, right? Because they don't have anything they could use to, just cut it off. And that's why they are, in fact, very terrified by Litecoin. But that's just that. They can't do anything besides try. One thing I just want to say, though, is that, you see, the worst they can do to Litecoin is just suppress it for a bit. Probably try to keep it for longer. Again, I believe the suppression is happening from two parties. I believe those that want to destroy it are trying to suppress it, of course. But money is not idealistic, honestly. Money just wants what profit, what's gonna get more profit. And there's some very savvy people at the other end of that that are just capturing all of that, new Litecoin that's been sold by people that don't understand, or people that are being shaken out by these suppressive manipulator guys. And it might even be the same faction. I mean, JP Morgan and some of these, large entities, you know, Jamie Dimons have absolutely ravaged Bitcoin in the past. I mean, BlackRock. I mean, Larry Fink once called BlackRock. I don't know if it's a Ponzi scheme or a scam or something. Yeah, live on national television or like in an interview panel or something. He's never really had a good opinion about Bitcoin. But all of a sudden, he adopts Bitcoin, right? And then they have Bitcoin ETFs and starts pumping and all that, right? What's that to say? What if, right? Just what if these guys are the same people that are. What if these guys are just the same people that are, playing the same games with Litecoin? Because these guys are generally they ignore Litecoin's existence. Why there are some people that are trying to attack it? So what if these people that are trying to attack it are just the guys that are trying to accumulate? Whatever it is, it's all pointless. The only people this is working on is retail. And, the emotional people don't understand what these things are about. And who are just going to look at it as, because like the people that are going after people that are going to go, oh, the CEO of Litecoin company says he regrets creating Litecoin company. I'm going to go sell my Litecoin stonks. There's the people that are going to fall for this, right? And when they fall for it, it's 84 million. These guys are just going to, they're going to work with stock to flow and get as much of it, out of circulation. They're going to pump it. And you're going to see, right? Because, of course, the worst that's going to happen is they're going to suppress it for a while. Probably get Bitcoin to a point where they feel like Litecoin's pump can no longer, threaten it anymore. Probably, send it $5 trillion market cap. And then, of course, since capital is agnostic, capital is going to flow back into Litecoin. And then Litecoin's going to start pumping. And you know what they're going to say? Oh, yeah, Litecoin's pumping. We never knew Litecoin's pumping. Yeah, I mean, buy Litecoin now. Not like we've been accumulating over the past few years. We absolutely haven't. We swear we haven't. But buy Litecoin now. Now it's cool to buy Litecoin. Yeah. I'm not going to be surprised when that happens. It's just ignore all of this. It's all BS. I just want to talk about. I just wanted to rant about it, bro. Because honestly, I just felt like ranting about it. That's my rant. That's my entire rant about this. I guess we're just gonna move to the next segment of this live show, honestly. And the next segment of this live show is Charlie is way too honest. But before I talk about you can just say I just have to show that. So yeah, the next we've done the intro. We've talked about where is altcoin season. We've talked about happy birthday Litecoin, and now we're done talking about why they're threatened. And now we're going to talk about why Charlie is way too honest. Honestly, Litecoin's founder is way too honest. It's just way too honest of a guy. And then we're going to go into some Litecoin DBS speculation. And after that, that's going to be the end of it, of the stream. So before I go into that, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to be here in about, I need to take a break. I need to chill. Okay. I need to chill a little bit. Okay. I'm getting a little rusty over here. I need to rest my vocal cords. So yeah, we're gonna take a little bit break, very little. And once we do that, just 5 minutes, and I'll be back. And then we're gonna be talking about why I feel like Charlie is way too honest, and why people just love taking advantage of that. So I'm gonna be back in 5 minutes. Okay, wait for me, soldiers.
Altcoin bag holders. My name is Rafael Yeager. I'm addressing my fellow altcoin bag holders directly using the powers of the founding altcoin, Litecoin itself. All the fought imposed upon us by maxis are crumbling to the ground, and our legion of altcoins have begun their march. My only goal is to destroy the indoctrination of Bitcoin maximalism once and for all. Right now, dogmatic maximalists are united in their desire to annihilate all our alts, reduce our network to dust. They won't stop when we're broke. They won't be satisfied until every coin besides Bitcoin is seen as worthless forever. I reject that wish. Each one of you will become a titan in joining me as we make every single Bitcoin delusion they've imposed disappear without a trace of the Bitcoin dominance reduced till it becomes single digits. Altcoin bag holders, my name is Rafael Yeager. I'm addressing my fellow altcoin bag holders directly using the powers of the founding altcoin, Litecoin itself. All the fraud imposed upon us by maxis are crumbling to the ground, and our legion of altcoins have begun their march. My only goal is to destroy the indoctrination of Bitcoin maximalism once and for all. Right now, dogmatic maximalists are united in their desire to annihilate all our alts, reduce our network to dust. They won't stop when we're broke. They won't be satisfied until every coin besides Bitcoin is seen as worthless forever. I reject that wish. Each one of you will become a titan in joining me as we make every single Bitcoin delusion they've imposed disappear without a trace, and the Bitcoin dominance reduced till it becomes single digits. Altcoin bag holders, my name is Rafael Yeager. I'm addressing my fellow altcoin bag holders directly using the powers of the founding altcoin, Litecoin itself. All the fraud imposed upon us by maxis are crumbling to the ground, and our legion of altcoins have begun their march. My only goal is to destroy the indoctrination of Bitcoin maximalism once and for all. Right now, dogmatic maximalists are united in their desire to annihilate all our alts, reduce our network to dust. They won't stop when we're broke. They won't be satisfied until every coin besides Bitcoin is seen as worthless forever. I reject that wish. Each one of you will become a titan in joining me as we make every single Bitcoin delusion they've imposed disappear without a trace, and the Bitcoin dominance reduced till it becomes single digits. Altcoin bag holders, my name is Rafael Yeager. I'm addressing my fellow altcoin bag holders directly using the powers of the founding altcoin, Litecoin itself. All the fraud imposed upon us by maxis are crumbling to the ground, and our legion of altcoins have begun their march. My only goal is to destroy the indoctrination of Bitcoin maximalism once and for all. Right now, dogmatic maximalists are united in their desire to annihilate all our alts, reduce our network to dust. They won't stop when we're broke. They won't be satisfied until every coin besides Bitcoin is seen as worthless forever. I reject that wish. Each one of you will become a titan in joining me as we make every single Bitcoin delusion they've imposed disappear without a trace, and the Bitcoin dominance reduced till it becomes single digits.
Welcome back to the Altcoin Season Tour. I am your host, Rafael. The Altcoin Season Tour is an altcoin specific show that I host every day, every Thursday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And you need to follow me, okay, Habibi? Because if you don't follow me, what if you miss the time where we talk about your altcoin, Habibi? You don't want that, okay? You follow me, okay? So right now we are talking about my favorite altcoin. It is a Litecoin. If you don't know Litecoin, you need to know Litecoin, because why would you not know Litecoin? It is a criminal to not know Litecoin. It is the longest running altcoin without any longest running crypto blockchain without any interruptions. So you have to know Litecoin. Honestly, it's great. It's criminal if you don't know Litecoin at this point. Because why would you know Litecoin? Litecoin is the altcoin that first became successful, so your altcoin can become successful. 14 years and no downtime. Can you believe that? It's incredible. It's incredible, honestly. I was speaking to Cash. I was speaking to Cash Patel, and I told him, Litecoin, I need some Litecoin. And he said, he don't want Litecoin, because he likes Bitcoin only. I said, I don't like Bitcoin only. I like it. It's blue. Not like Democrats, but it's blue in a way, and I like it because it's Litecoin. Uh, by the way, besides my generally horrible Trump impersonation, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys the other event. Of course, we've had the intro. We talked about what altcoins is in, and we've talked about Litecoin's birthday. We talked about why they're threatening them. Now I want to talk about why Charlie is way too honest. Honestly, so if you don't know who Charlie is, Charlie Lee is the founder of Litecoin, the inventor of Litecoin, and honestly, let me explain what I mean by Charlie Lee is way too honest. So this is a little backstory. When when Litecoin was created, right? Charlie Lee announced when Litecoin was going to be created. He announced the plans to launch Litecoin, and everything, and he could have just selected a time by himself, right, and said, "Well, uh, Litecoin mining is going to go live this time. You come mine. If you don't come mine, that's your problem." He could have done that, and it wouldn't still take anything away from Litecoin's fair mine, right? But because of he actually has a culture of so much honesty, right, and so much transparency, he decided to leave it open. He decided to make it a community vote. Anybody, literally anybody that was in the in the Bitcoin community back then, could decide on when exactly they wanted Litecoin mining to go live, and then it went live on the day, and at the time, on the day that they the people with the most votes selected. And it wasn't even a time that was very convenient for Charlie, but because he has the culture of openness and transparency, he just went with it. And you sort of see that this is a pattern with Litecoin's founder, you know a pattern of brutal honesty, a pattern of someone who is not interested in selling you an idea. He's just saying what he thinks. And this is a very rare trait that is often frowned upon by a society that focuses so much and places so much value on selective honesty. Now, people say that most people in society like people lying to them, but that's not true. People don't like being lied to. People just don't want to hear the truth to the max, if you know what I mean. People want to hear the truth they want to hear. If you look at the way human behavioral patterns, if you understand human patterns and the psyche of humans, when you're talking about something that someone already knows about or has an opinion about, they are listening to you. They're interpreting what you're saying based on what they want to hear. And the brain is a very pattern seeking organ. So of course, what it's doing is pattern recognition, and there's something it wants to see and thinks it just doesn't want to see, and that reflects in the way people go about truth seeking. So people don't ever want to listen to the truth. They just want to confirm what they think, or they want to hear something that is convenient to what to what they feel like is convenient for them. And this is something that Charlie just doesn't do, because he doesn't care. He just says the truth. I remember watching a video in 2024 where, and this was the video that made me respect Charlie as a person a lot. And it was in YouTube, and they asked Charlie that, proof of work, proof of stake, which is more secure? And of course, I was expecting Charlie to say, "Oh yeah, proof of work, obviously, duh." And Charlie said something that I'm not directly quoting, but something vaguely similar to, "Well, it depends, right? I mean, there's no objective way to really know which is more secure, but proof of work is just you understand exactly how secure it is. I mean, because you can sort of like see, the miners and everything. It's just way more transparent, but there's nothing to objectively say either one is more secure than the other." And I was like, this is a proof of work coin founder saying this. Isn't it supposed to try to like shield his beliefs or his ideas? No, he said, what was the way it was. And this is something that made me look at him and go, bro, I have so much respect for this dude. I have so much respect for this dude. The only one sentiment that I see Charlie express that is that sounds like, oh, he's promoting something, is just buy Bitcoin sentiment. Other than that, like, dude, he doesn't try, particularly with Litecoin. And this is something people don't appreciate about Charlie, that I personally appreciate about Charlie, is the fact that, like, he doesn't treat every interview as a Litecoin sales speech. Listen to what he says about Litecoin. He doesn't say, oh, hoard Litecoin, sorry, value Litecoin. He says, use Litecoin. He's been preaching the same thing for years. It was created so you can use it, so it can be more accessible to you, so you can use it as a medium of exchange, right? And of course, over time, it's since the supply is limited, of course, it's definitely going to be a better store of value than fiat. That's all he says. He never tries to promote Litecoin, trying to say, oh, look, this hype stuff, oh, we haven't leaked VM, I think all of this is bullish, Litecoin is going to 500. No, he doesn't. He doesn't do any of this. And again, remember, Litecoin, when he announced, before Litecoin went live for mining, he announced, and he left it to a public poll. He left it to a community poll to decide when exactly the mining was going to go live. And after it went live, that was when mining started. And this is the same mentality that he employed in making sure that he let everyone know exactly when he was going to sell. Now, one thing is that nobody knew and nobody knows exactly how much Litecoin Charlie has. Nobody knows. Again, and that is a testament to just how fair the mining process was, or how smart he is, because he's a very intelligent guy. But actually, how fair he was, the process was, because like a lot of people mined a lot of Litecoins. I don't think he mined a particularly outsized amount of Litecoin compared to like those that had the access to mine it, like those that were in the very small Bitcoin community at that time. So of course, nobody knows exactly how much Litecoin he had. He never owed us that information. He could have sold his Litecoins privately and literally never said anything, and we would never know, and nothing will happen. Absolutely nothing will happen. But the same pattern that shows itself in where he had to like be entirely transparent about the mining process, announcing, leaving the time to a community vote, is the same mentality that expressed itself when he was just letting everyone know he's about to exit the market. He's exited the market. He sold his Litecoins, is divested, and people just don't appreciate that. Honestly, those are one of the things. The brutal honesty of Charlie is one of the reasons why I have a much stronger conviction in Litecoin than anything else. And this is one characteristic that make me feel very comfortable talking about Litecoin more than I talk about any other crypto, because the only thing the founders ever said is, you just use Litecoin. It's meant to be used as money. Use it as money. While every other opinion that I have is just what I'm getting from independent community members and my aggregation of it, and just what I feel is my personal opinion, which is an extraction of pretty much community consensus that everyone's just coming up with their opinions, by the way, independently. And you compare that to what you see with XRP, where a lot of people are focusing on what the Ripple team are announcing, or what Brad Gallinghouse says in an interview, or this and that and that. These people that are trying to push for these things bullishness, and you compare that to with Chainlink or with these other coins, with other, it's not the same. And it's because of that I really appreciate Litecoin. That's why I feel very comfortable talking about Litecoin. And so there's something that I really like about Charlie. It's something that I appreciate about Charlie, and it's something that I believe like more people should appreciate it about Charlie. But yeah, we live in a world, like I said, where people only want to hear what they're comfortable hearing. Nobody wants to hear the absolute truth, and Charlie doesn't care. Charlie's just going to say the absolute truth. The truth of the matter is, everybody knows Charlie likes Litecoin. Charlie loves Litecoin. The Litecoin Summit costs about $250,000 to host every year. and he funds majority of it. The Litecoin Foundation, a foundation of a nonprofit, is set up to manage Litecoin, is run by donations, and he matches those donations every year. You don't need to explain to anybody that Charlie loves Litecoin. I think it's apparent. It's as apparent as possible that Charlie loves Litecoin. So, of course, he was asked about what would be the better financial decision. Again, the brutal honesty. It's the truth. If he had bought Bitcoins and never created any cryptocurrencies, it would have just been the better financial decision, because Bitcoin has just gone up way more than anything. And the stress involved in handling all of this passion project right now, it's just not going to be worth much, right? Compared to how much extra money he would have made, and nobody would have known about him. And that's the idea. So why on earth do we have people that are trying to misquote him, that are trying to take advantage of this? It's so sad, right? It's so sad. It just makes me want to throw up when I see it happen. And I feel like, in a way, Charlie might have a little bit of survivor's guilt, because he made a lot of money when he sold coins he fairly mined. And so, maybe some people, unfortunately, because of how brutally honest it was, maybe some people, saw that as a reason to sell, and, the markets are like dumped, and some people lost as a, sort of, result of that. So maybe he feels a bit of survivor's guilt, where he feels like he owes us something. He owes us some sort of, I don't know what it is, but maybe he owes us something. Hey, Charlie, you don't owe us anything. You don't owe, and I've not been a Litecoiner long enough, right? I wasn't there when it happened, right? But that doesn't make me have less of an opinion in this, I believe. And you don't owe us anything. You don't owe me anything. I don't know any Litecoiner that cares about Litecoin that has been there before 2017 that I've conversed with that actually cares about you selling. You did what was right. Humanity just doesn't value what was right. You never owe anybody the explanation. You don't owe anybody any explanation about anything, bro. Honestly, nothing. You don't owe anybody nothing. You don't owe anybody nothing, bro. And I just feel like, bro, like, just stop giving these people audience, people asking you, oh, why did you exit? And then you have to explain, like, bro, you don't owe them any of that. You don't owe them anything, honestly, bro. You don't owe them anything. You don't. And the reason why you don't owe them anything is because your heart and your actions are speaking for you already. And the right people are listening. You exited the market. You sold coins that you bought on mined. That's the truth. You could have done that, left, never interacted with Litecoin, and you still don't owe it anything. Yeah, you could have sold your Litecoins, gone out of the market, never come back to Litecoin, never interacted with Litecoin, and still not owe us anything. Because it's a decentralized peer-to-peer, money. It's a decentralized money. It's like, you don't owe us anything. You don't owe us anything. I'm just gonna say, I'm just being honest. But you stayed. You stayed, bro. You stayed. $250,000 every year to host a Litecoin summit. You fund most of it. You match the donations that the Litecoin Foundation gets. You match it, and you continue to invest your money in running it. You help fund important projects for the benefit of Litecoin, bro. You don't owe us any explanation, honestly. Your actions show us where your heart is, and we know that your heart is with us, honestly. And we're the ones that matter, bro. We're the ones that matter. We're the Litecoiners. We're the one in the community. Just honestly, bro, you don't owe the world anything, Charlie. You don't owe the world anything. That's just my opinion. That's just what I think. You don't owe the world anything. You don't owe us anything. You don't owe the world an explanation. Just keep doing what you're doing. We love you. We support you. And if you decided you don't want to do any of it tomorrow, and you packed up and you left, we still love you. We still support you. And you still don't owe anybody anything. You still don't owe anybody anything. You're a brutally honest person. They're always going to take advantage of you. It's just the life we live in. So, yeah. Oh my God, I think that disconnected for a bit. Happiness is my biggest happiness is the fact that, like, after all this happened, the Litecoin community rallied behind you. We're the ones that matter. All the outsiders, they don't matter. They're not the ones holding Litecoin, besides the nefarious ones that are just trying to fan the flame so they can like get Litecoins out of the hands of noobs. They're not pushing for Litecoin adoption. Their opinions don't matter. And bro, we love you, honestly. Like, I have to end this particular one. I'm hoping to end the stream in 10 minutes. So yeah, Charlie, bro, you don't owe anybody shit. That's just the truth. Just what I want to see. You're too honest of a person. They're gonna take advantage of it. They always take advantage of it. It's sad, but trust me, the people that appreciate it. The people that are very reasonable, logical, we appreciate it, honestly. We appreciate it more than anything. And believe me, big money falls in the category of people that are just brutally. Big money is also brutally honest. And when big money shows its brutal honesty, whenever Litecoin starts to move up, that's going to be a testament to the fact that like the right people have been appreciating your brutal honesty about Litecoin. And that's just what I want to say. So guys, we're going to move to the final one, which is just Litecoin to be a speculation, bro. What is going to happen? So yeah, order of events, we've done the intro, we've done all of this, and now Litecoin to be a speculation. I just want to look at the Litecoin chart. Honestly, just want to denominate this in USD. Oh boy, I've been getting a lot, very exhausted very quickly nowadays. That's why I've decided alt season tour is going to be thrive weekly, of course, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. But every last week of the month there wouldn't be any alt season tour, just so I can have time to rest. If not, I wouldn't be able to make these episodes as quality as they can, because it's just going to be getting worse and worse over time, which I don't want. I feel like right now is a good time for Litecoin to get. I mean, what are we? We're still in 7th of October. I mean, there's still a lot of chance for Litecoin to pull off a Zcash candle. Honestly, if Litecoin can see a Zcash candle, then that's gonna be what we need. Honestly, it's gonna be all we need. All we need is a Zcash candle, bro. Like a candle that can like give us an 83% move, right? An 83% move. So what would an 83% move look like on Litecoin on this candle, right? If this candle were to expand into becoming an 83% candle, what's it gonna be? Oh boy. So gonna be if we get an 80 something percent on Litecoin. Yeah, boy. Oh, why is this? Why is this? I always okay. I double click it all the time. I'm supposed to click it once. Oh boy. So if we get an 80 something percent candle on this month, seeing a monthly candle that takes us to about 200. If we see that type of that's gonna look something like this. If this monthly candle transforms into like Zcash monthly candle, that's you know it's gonna be something like this. It's probably gonna take us like this. Probably gonna be a candle like this. Yeah, how that look? If we have this, if we have this be where this candle takes us, I mean, it can be argued, right, that where I put this my support is absolutely wrong, and this is the support that matters, because like this has like the most real touches, right? It's here, so it can be argued that this is where the real resistance is, and all of these other things things are just spikes. So because like this is touch one, touch two, touch three. So yeah, if we see a Zcash candle this month that takes us to 200 and something, it's gonna be the official test of this. And I mean, if we have a follow through candle like this one that took just have to delete this. If we have a follow through candle like this that takes Litecoin to follow through candle like what Zcash had, right? This other candle, this other candle took Zcash up by what percentage point? Second monthly candle, if we have this monthly candle give us what Zcash has, and we sort of like see a second monthly candle that gives us 100 and something, what's 100 and something percentage gonna look like? So yeah, I mean, I mean, there's gonna be some master level targets, man. If we see this, right, that would mean that takes it straight to 500. Honestly, 500 and something, it's gonna be cool, right? If it happens, I'm not gonna complain if we see two monthly candles that look something like this, right? Like this. If that happens, whoa, that's gonna be good, right? I mean, then this pennant will not need to uh this triangle is not gonna need to form completely. Honestly, Litecoin is so difficult to read using TA. It's like I don't know what this candle is. I mean, I just don't know what this candle is, but whatever. Um I mean, if we see this, honestly, Litecoin can start moving, very fast. So that's just what it's gonna look like for Litecoin if we get like two Zcash style candles like this two we saw with Zcash. If we see it in Litecoin, that's what's gonna be. Bro. Okay. I'm just speculating. Hey, don't take this as financial advice, bro. It's just this speculation. If Litecoin starts that's gonna be so freaking cool, right? That can give us, that could be a start of something similar to this 2017 candles that just like broke out and just went all the way up. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be ridiculous. That would take Litecoin on the path to this thousands of dollars range. Who knows? And I feel like maybe that's why it's taking longer, right? If you think about another way, right, how this might be manipulated to just delay, right? If there's nothing that's going to come out of this run, then we should have already had the run, right? If this run up was supposed to mean nothing, amount to nothing, then we probably should have run up already and get a lot of people trapped, who are waiting for the broader move. We should have done that here. We should have just made that move, January, tapped the top of this line, top of this resistance, and sort of like trap people here. That's what I'd expect, right? If this move was worth nothing. But I believe this is a move that extends beyond. We just blast off. I don't think we're gonna blast off with a single monthly candle, but yeah, I feel like if we have two Zcash style like I just showed here, then that could really do the trick and send Litecoin on its path to Valhalla. I feel like it's gonna be glorious whenever it happens. I don't know exactly where it's gonna get to, but it might be very explosive, considering just how much we've done absolutely nothing over a very very long time. I don't expect that we start the breakout and we just grind up. I don't think that's gonna happen, because if that was supposed to happen, I feel like we should have already been grinding up right now. The fact that we just stayed here, it's probably gonna be a burst up like what we saw here. It's just gonna repeat itself, and this is gonna be a macro change for Litecoin. Honestly, it's gonna push Litecoin into a macro uptrend. That's the way I perceive it. But anyways, Got to end the stream now in about a few seconds. Thank you for coming. If you've joined us today on today's episode of the Altcoin Season Tour, appreciate you for coming. Um, as usual, I'm your host, Raphael, and we host the Altcoin Season Tour every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So yeah, you follow us on X, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitch so that you can join the stream and you never miss an episode. Yeah, it's been me, your favorite Litecoiner, and I am out from the stream. See you guys on Thursday. By the way, Tuesday and Thursday's episodes are not supposed to be serious. It's just the Saturday episode is supposed to be serious. But I just couldn't let the Bitcoin character, the Bitcoin character assassination of Charlie Lee, the Bitcoin Maxi character assassination of Charlie. I just couldn't let it slide. Yeah, but that's
Altcoin bag holders, my name is Raphael Yeager. I am addressing my fellow altcoin bag holders directly using the powers of the founding altcoin, Litecoin itself. All the fort imposed upon us by maxis are crumbling to the ground, and our legion of altcoins have begun their march. My only goal is to destroy the indoctrination of Bitcoin maximalism once and for all. Right now, dogmatic maximalists are united in their desire to annihilate all our alts, reduce our network to dust. They won't stop when we're broke. They won't be satisfied until every coin besides Bitcoin is seen as worthless forever. I reject that wish. Each one of you will become a titan in joining me as we make every single Bitcoin delusion they've imposed disappear without a trace, and the Bitcoin dominance reduced till it becomes single digits.